going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this one, I found some pretty interesting stuff that I do want to share with you guys this evening. So we are going to be doing an update on AMC right now. We are going to be talking about a little bit about the Ortex data, kind of what we're seeing over there. We're going to be talking about the technicals as well, because again, like we said in yesterday's video, they're sitting pretty 50-50 right now, and it could go in either direction. And you're going to see a little bit more about what I mean by this when we get to that portion of the video. Now, we're also going to be talking a little bit about Max Payne, a little bit about the options chain. But the thing that I found really interesting that I found this afternoon is there's some pretty interesting kind of hedge fund collusion going on with the ECB and the Fed and this very, very famous hedge fund that you guys may have heard of, .72. Now, there's a pretty interesting backstory with this too, with Steve Cohen. He got banned for managing outside money. The ban got lifted. He's now doing some pretty interesting things again. And I want to go over this article with you guys as well, because yet again, we are seeing the powers that be. If you have a bunch of money, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. So before we get into all of that information, guys, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like down below, engaging with this video helps get this information out to some more people. But let's get right into it right here. So when we come over and take a look at the Ortex data, we have 19.81% estimated short interest on AMC right now. Now, again, that doesn't tell us very much. The only thing that this Ortex data really tells us is, well, one, it's the bare baseline minimum of what's potentially out there. And two, we just know that the stock is still heavily shorted. Now, when you do have heavily shorted stocks, you start to see buying pressure come in, some options open interest coming in as well. You can see a very significant move to the upside. So there still is potential for AMC to have an aggressive move to the upside. But as we kind of take a look at what's going on with the technicals here, we're going to take a look at the daily time frame first, because it's kind of showing us what it's looking like on the longest time frame that we typically look at. Now, we are kind of hunting this daily cross down right now. The last time that we had this daily cross down here, AMC fell pretty significantly. If we do this by a percentage, let's see, it came all the way down about 44% on this cross down. Definitely not something that we want to see right now. But again, we are showing some signs that we could be teetering to the upward direction. And again, there's a lot of different support and resistance levels within these ranges as well. And when we throw this on the 4-hour time frame, it looks a little bit different. We are hovering right around that 200 exponential moving average on this 4-hour time frame. We did get this cross down right here, but again, we are holding up pretty well right now. Now, again, the market is ripping right now. We have seen some pretty bullish momentum out of the market, and eventually it's going to need to take a pullback, which we could then see kind of AMC pull back with. Now, again, we could end up seeing it fly through this 13 EMA, fly through the 48 EMA. We see the RSI start cracking above 50 again, the MACD flipping back and showing us some more bullish momentum. And again, you could see the shaft trend cycle, if we have a couple of nice green days, flipping back to a buy rating as well. So again, as you can see on these charts right here, it's pretty 50-50 on where it could go at this given time, especially after all the data that we have seen and earnings coming up over the next couple of weeks. Now, I do want to talk briefly about Max Payne, because a lot of people do really like to take a look at this data here. So Max Payne going into the end of this week, $14.50. So again, if you don't know what Max Payne is by now, it's the price where the most amount of options contracts are going to be expiring worthless or out of the money. It's the price where the market makers make the most money. Now, if price finishes at 15 or price finishes at 14, the market makers are still making a significant amount of money, but not the most amount of money. So it's like them getting an A- versus an A+ on their test. That's the analogy or metaphor that I like to use all the time with Max Payne. It's not the end-all be-all, but it's something to keep in mind. And again, guys, if you do want a little bit more information on how we're doing the technicals on not only just AMC, but over 450 stocks in the market. We also have over 55 private live streams every single month, a full built-out curriculum, and 2 really, really cool trading algorithms and bots coming to you guys, in addition to the one that we already have. If you guys are interested in that, check out that link down below. Now, coming over and taking a look at the options chain really quickly, 15,367 call contracts are in the money going into the end of this week. There's about 10,000 puts though, so it's not really enough on either side to say, hey, we could see some aggressive price movement in either direction just based off of the options chain. So nothing too crazy going on with the option chain for AMC going into the end of this week. But Now let's get into the situation with this hedge fund, who they've hired, what this actually means, and why this really shouldn't be allowed, but apparently it is. So when we come over to this article right here, Point 72 hires 2 former central bank employees, further proving that Wall Street just one giant cesspool where everyone swims around in everyone else's tepid bathwater. Stephen Cohen's Point 72 put out a press release this week announcing 2 key hires for its offices in the New York and London locations. Both hires are formers from central banks, one from the Fed and the other from the ECB. The company press release announced the hiring of Sophia Drosos, an economist and strategist, based in New York, and Soren Raid, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce the name. If I'm wrong, I apologize, as head of European economic research based in London. Point 72 head economist Dean Mackey said, with Sophia and Soren's arrivals, we have significantly boosted our economic forecasting and analysis capabilities. Yeah, obviously, dude. You just have people coming from the Fed that not only have experience, but relationships at the Fed, okay? And adding to the support that we offer, to the support we offer our global teams of investment professionals at a time when macro factors are affecting asset prices, perhaps more than ever. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Stephen Cohen, this isn't the first time that his firm has actually done something like this. When you take a look at this article right here, ban lifted, Stephen Cohen may soon be investing for clients again. Stephen Cohen, the billionaire investor, once known as the hedge fund king, could soon be managing other people's money again, assuming investors can look past the insider trading allegations that sunk his previous firm. For the past 2 years, Cohen has been barred from managing money for clients under a 2016 agreement reached with the SEC for failing to properly supervise a former portfolio manager at his fund, SAC Capital Advisors, who was found guilty of insider trading. Steve Cohen's an interesting guy. He's actually the individual that Bobby Axelrod's character in Billions is based off of. And he actually at one point presented to, I believe it was the US government, for hours about how they actually can't convict him. So he made a presentation and then just went to the government and was like, this is why you can't convict me. It's crazy. So the ban expired last week. Now Cohen is taking steps that would allow him to once manage capital again. This was in January of 2018. But they're just hiring people from the Fed. If they have strategies that are going to be really contingent upon changes in interest rates or any type of policy that the Fed or the ECB is actually going to enact, well, they have 2 people from both of these institutions that not only are kind of able to think like somebody working at the Fed or the ECB, but could easily make a phone call and say, hey, well, what are you guys working on? This is kind of what we're doing over here. And they're all going to be getting kickbacks like we've seen before. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. This is all allegedly, but this isn't really something that we really want to see. But again, these are things that happen. And I did want to kind of bring this information to you guys and present this to you guys in this video. So that's really going to wrap up this update on AMC, the technicals on it, 1348, and the situation that kind of developed with this hedge fund here. If you guys did enjoy the information and analysis that I did provide for you guys in this video, if you wouldn't mind going down below, hitting that like button, dropping a comment, hitting that subscribe button, helps out a whole lot with the algorithms. And again, guys, if you would really like to take full advantage of the opportunity that the market has right now, make sure you guys check out that link down below to 1348. You won't be disappointed. So again, guys, that's going to wrap up this one. Other than that, peace.